Good morning, everybody. My name is Bear with bearindependent.com, Oso Independiente, the peanut butter bear. The title of this video is Something Wicked This Way Comes. Now, maybe you're an early 2000s power metal fan and that resonates with you. Or maybe you just enjoy apocryphal literature. Or maybe you just feel it in your guts that something is coming. Yup. Me too. There's a lot of things, like all the things, that I think at this point, anybody who's switched on, whether you're into preparedness or survivalism, or you're one of those 3%er militia guys, or Minuteman loadout, Minuteman everything. This is my Minuteman canteen, my Minuteman tourniquet, these are my Minuteman puppies, Minuteman everything for the win. Regardless of where you find yourself, even if you're just a law-abiding citizen who is concerned about where the country's going, you know, 2020 elections, need I say more? Factor in food scarcity, grand solar minimum, socioeconomic issues, geopolitical issues. This S is crazy. Something wicked this way comes. Is it end times? Is it not end times? Don't know. But I think that more and more people are starting to feel it. I know more and more people are reaching out to me saying, I feel it. Thanks for what you do. Which, by the way, you thank the Father, you don't thank me. I just talk at a sideways iPhone. Okay? So, thank you for being here. This morning while I was rucking, this thought came to me. Something wicked this way comes. What are you going to do about it? What are you doing about it? The vast majority of people, preppers included, are just addicted to comfort. That could be a great alternate title to this video. Addicted to comfort. This thing is hard, I don't want to do it. Or that could be hard in the future. I'm going to buy all these products and put them on a shelf or in a bunker somewhere so that life's a little less hard when the world ends. Which is a fine strategy if you're not dependent upon the things, right? Or if you only have the things but you don't know how to use them. I use this example constantly. You have a rifle, but you've never zeroed it. Is the time to learn how to operate this the moment you need to use it? Hell no. You should know how to run this thing proficiently right now. Let's get the sun in our eyes. Let's come over here. There's a lovely backdrop right there. There we go. You should know how to run this thing right now. Right now. Right now. And if you don't, that's cool. Get some training. Right now. Figure it out. Figure it out now so that you don't have to figure it out then, right? The moment you need it is not the time to have to learn how to use it. And I see this constantly. We've addressed this before many times at this channel. The Amazon box checker mentality of preparedness that I'm just going to buy the things and put them on the shelf and I'm good to go. You're not good to go. Not even close to good to go. You know, you need to be able to walk out back there with this and more or less nothing else and be good to go. Not a 97-pound inch bag. That's not good to go. So, knowing that something wicked this way comes, what are you doing about it? How are you actually preparing? Your mind, your heart, your body. What are you actually doing to get better? You know, I recently did a 1-hour ruck video. I got a few comments. That's not possible. You can't ruck 4.4 miles in an hour. You can't. I've rucked 140 times in the last 6 months. I got a little bit of practice. That's just in the last 6 months. 140 times. I can. The national ruck standard right now, the U.S. Army, I believe it is a 15-minute mile. Okay? or that'd be 4 miles in an hour. That's the minimum standard. I've rucked 140 times in the last 6 months. So I beat the minimum standard by 1/10 of a mile per circuit. Why is that so unbelievable? It's unbelievable to y'all here because you can't do it. And that's okay. I'm not chastising you because you can't do it, but you need to start doing it. You need to go do. You need to put your crap on and go walk around in the woods 140 times in 6 months. And then we can talk, right? You know, it's the same thing. I go out in this field and I shoot some targets fast. Oh, well, how come your groups were like this? How come they weren't like this? What are your groups? What are your groups? Let's see your groups. What can you do, right? So there's this mental disconnect with this box checker Amazon preparedness mentality that I'm just gonna buy the things, put them on the shelf, put them in blue totes, put them in my bunker, and I'm good to go, man. No, you need training. And I say this in love. You need training, because I'm telling you, within the next 18 months, maybe 24 months, we're going to have 2 things that are going to get absolutely sideways. Absolutely sideways. One is food. Like, for real, food. Food production has been on a downward spiral, but we are now circling the drain when it comes to food. I have recently stated that I have gone from adamant to militant about food storage. If you're not storing food, stop this video right now, get off your ass and go buy food. And I mean it. I mean it right now. Stop. Don't do another thing until you have food storage squared away. I've recently was speaking with a client. I spoke with this client 2 months ago. How much food do you have? Not much. You need to get on it. Okay. 1 month ago. How much food do you have? We're doing good. We're almost up to a year. Awesome. Spoke with him very recently. How much food do you have? We're pushing 2 years. In 2 months. Well, I don't have that kind of money. Figure it out. They're not, you know, extravagantly rich either, but they're getting it done. Okay? So food, our food supply nationally and internationally is circling the drain. You're going to see shrinkflation, meaning that you used to get a pound for X amount of dollars. Now you get 14 ounces for X amount of dollars. Or you used to get a gallon, 128 fluid ounces for X amount of dollars. And now you're getting 116 ounces for X amount of dollars. You're going to see that. We're already seeing that if you're paying attention. The other thing that's going to happen, economic collapse. Economic collapse. It's coming. If you add in, and those two things, I'm blessed to speak with a lot of different people as part of my job. And I have a handful of financial experts that I speak with. They don't know each other. They don't know anything about each other. That's it. And when I get the same story from 4 different people without being led, yeah, in the mouths of 2 or 3 is a thing established. Well, 4, we're onto something. I know that that's not me being paranoid. So, maybe we should just pause this video and shoot guinea hens right now. I know that's not me being paranoid. So if you factor in food crisis and economic collapse, or even economic instability, what are you going to get? Civil unrest. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. One half of the country is politically misaligned with the other half of the country, or at least as far as our representation goes. I don't believe it's that bad person to person, but I think as far as our representation goes, it is. And I think that there's absolutely a vested interest in the 2-party system to keep us divided. And I think it's a ton of BS. I have nothing to do with politics these days. In fact, I get a lot of questions from you guys. What's your opinion on this political? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's like, what do you think about the flames shooting out of that window as the empire burns? I don't care. Well, yeah, but we gotta take this country back. And you think voting is gonna do that for you? Are you freaking kidding me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are past the point of no return politically, says me. There's a reason I ruck 6 days a week, and 3 of those days a week I ruck including my plate carrier. I take a rifle with me whenever I ruck. Start getting comfortable with the idea of the uncomfortable. We know these things are coming. Start making your actions match your ambitions. Okay? And there's a difference between knowing it here and knowing it here. What are you doing? For real, what are you doing? And I mean this macro, micro, existentially. What are you doing? You only get this one life to live. How are you wasting it? Sitting in a cubicle 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week? You know, and that's incredible. The delayed gratification there, I'm going to wither away and bust my ass underneath these fluorescent lights for the man for 30 years. So that when I'm old and broken, I can maybe have a modicum of enjoyment in my life. Y'all have gotten okay with that delayed gratification, but not the idea that maybe I should not eat crap and do push-ups. That's delayed gratification. Or maybe I shouldn't buy junk and store food instead. That's delayed gratification. It amazes me. It's because one's comfortable and the other's uncomfortable, and people have just fallen in love with the idea of comfort. Stop. Stop. And I mean this in all love. Well, how can you say that, Bear? Because I've done the hard things. I do the hard things. I've made the transition from outside of the system. It can be done. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not that freaking special. I'm not. I just absolutely resolved that we're going to do this thing, and we did it. Do it. Make your actions match your ambitions. If you know something wicked this way comes, if you know there is bad news on the horizon, act like it. Make your actions match your ambitions, because the time to postulate is going to soon come to an end. And then what? What are you going to do? I just can't form a team. Start. Try. Do. It's hard. I know. Believe me, do I know. See, the thing is, you've been convinced that the goal in life is to be comfortable. It's not. The goal in life is to willingly shoulder the burden of responsibility and do hard things and accomplish those hard things so that you build context with people whom you love, and to do all of that in such a way that it puts a smile on your Creator's face. That's the goal in life. And in that, you'll find your purpose and your meaning. Sitting around being comfortable, being a comfortable slave to the system, there's no purpose in that. There's no meaning in that. And that's why you feel hollow inside. That's why you go to empty churches full of empty people to hear an empty sermon and wondering, why can't I find God? Go do hard things. How come my life feels like it doesn't have any value? Because you're not bringing any to it. If you know hell is coming, if you know this, here, act like it. Do the hard things. Get out of your damn comfort zone. Whatever that is, just start doing. Shalom.